Kids have transitioned amazingly well. Like they're young enough that they're resilient, they're enjoying being at home and having mommy time all the time. So for them, the transition's been surprisingly super. But on the other hand of that is the pressure on myself. My husband's still working because he's in an essential job, so he's not exempt from stay at home. So he's still working full time. So it's literally the kids and I all day long. And it's really hard, and it's hard to play mom role and then also the pressure of continuing their learning at the same time, especially with multiple children, multiple age, developmental levels. It's just really, really hard, and sometimes I take it hour to hour, sometimes I take it minute to minute, but, it's a lot, and to play both those roles at the same time is a real challenge. The digital learning is great, and it's amazing that we have that technology, but it puts a new pressure on the mom to now step in and play the role of a teacher. And I think what a lot of people forget is teachers are trained professionals. It's not like you can just put on a hat, give you a worksheet, and say, okay, now you're the teacher to all these moms who don't know how to teach. It's a skill, it's a learned profession, and I think a lot of the moms are feeling the pressure. We gotta lower our own stress and expectations because what's gotten my kids the most engaged are little silly things that had no planning involved that just kind of spontaneously came about throughout our day. And I think that's what whoever the caretaker is with these kids needs to focus on, is like these little things and these little teachable moments without getting bogged down by these curriculums that are coming home, the digital learning, because it's just really overwhelming. And it's overwhelming for the mom and for the kids. So I think just figuring out that balance for parents and just kind of letting the kids lead, letting them explore, seeing what their interests are. And depending on the age, letting them go with it is really important at this age. And I think as a teacher, really trying to focus in on those teachable moments. How is math? How is reading? How are those subjects used in our daily life? Like if you're in the kitchen, letting the kids look at the measuring cups and talking about your measuring cups. Or if they want to, my kids are really into taking every spice out of our spice cabinet right now. And it's like the kids have their own toy kitchen, but they could care less about that right now. They will spend an hour unloading my spices and loading them back in. And it's like, okay, that's great. So now what are we going to do with all these spices? So we can count with them, we can look at the letters on them. Like those are the moments where you can turn it into learning. So that's my advice as a teacher and mom and trying to balance those, two roles right now is just pick up on those little things as much as you can and kind of let the kids lead that rather than being preoccupied planning activities, and that just stresses you out. I really like our school is hosting a daily challenge every day this week. So like Monday was create an art piece from nature. Yesterday was have the kids make an invention. And it's a nice theme. And then it really like keeps it fresh and new. And the idea of a challenge to the kids gets them really motivated. So the idea that the school did it this week was great, but like clearly I can do a challenge every day next week. I can implement the same idea at home or amongst our groups of friends. And it's just keeping it fresh and different because as soon as it's boring for you as the mom or teacher, it's boring for the kids. And that's something I learned actually as a teacher. If the curriculum, if teaching gets boring, that means you need to change it up. I know that if I'm feeling okay, I can hold down the fort for the day. So I've tried to keep those ties with our school friends, our families, nearby. So we're constantly, as the moms, sharing ideas. Also, I've tried to get my kids involved in the idea of sharing with your community ideas. So, like, we were really into one day making paper airplanes. So I had my son make a video teaching his friends how to make a paper airplane. And then we sent it to all them, and now it's like a challenge. Like the kids are creating kind of little challenges for each other and giving each other new ideas of what to do. We're doing a lot of FaceTime with friends. Our family in California, they're really into staple design, where they take a stapler and they make staple art on their pictures. So they shared that with us, and then we'll make one, and you can actually, put it in the mail and send it to them. So we're trying to share. I use just social media a lot to share my ideas. I use it to get ideas. And I just look for the simplest things that every mom and caretaker has different background, different knowledge. And you don't want to get competitive about it. Like, you just do you take care of your needs, you take care of the kids' needs, and that's all it should be. And I think, that's hard sometimes when there's crazy, amazing things being shared and posted. And like, you just got to accept that that's them. That's awesome. But I'm not going to pull that off. And I need to keep my time and energy in check for me to be able to do my best with my kids. Um, I think it's really important for the primary caregiver, in my case, me, the mom, to do our best throughout the day. And if you have time to take a break, give yourself a break, have some alone time to kind of reboot. And I think if you don't, you do your best to put that show on for your kids, that things are good and happy and this and that. But I think to remember to be true to yourself and your emotions, and depending on the age of your kids, discuss that with them. Like, I had a really hard day 2 days ago, and I told my 4.5-year-old, I said, look, I'm having a hard time. Like, if this whole situation is really sad, and we need to teach our kids social emotional learning as well. And that's what it turned into. And I think that's perfectly appropriate to do with our kids while we're all having this rough time together.